Hello! Today I'm going to tell you about one of the biggest shocks to the global economy in recent years. Donald Trump's surprise tariffs in 2025. Out of nowhere, Trump announced new taxes on imports from almost every single country. 10% on everything, and even higher for some like China and Canada. The reaction? Chaos. Stock markets crashed. Companies lost trillions, and world leaders rushed to figure out what to do next. Countries fired back with their own tariffs, and for a moment it felt like a full-on global trade war was about to explode. Then, just as suddenly, Trump paused some of the tariffs and made a surprising decision to leave smartphones and laptops off the list. So what exactly happened? Why did it cause so much panic? And how did the world respond? Let's dive into the full story. But hold on. Before I tell you all these amazing facts, there is something you should check out before this, or even after if you need to. I have uploaded another video explaining what happened on the 2nd of April, which Trump himself termed Liberation Day. That other one of my videos will give you the foundation of knowledge you need to fully understand this trade war. Back to the video. First, I will tell you what tariffs Donald Trump puts on other countries. He started a plan called Liberation Day that added a 10% tax on all goods coming into the US. China got hit the hardest, with taxes going up to 145% on their products. Canada and Mexico had a 25% tax placed on most of their exports to the US. Europe had to deal with a 20% tax on every single thing they sent to the US. Other countries were charged different tax amounts, from 11% to 50%, depending on things like trade balance. Then, there was sudden change and global impact. The announcements came out of nowhere and surprised businesses and governments around the world. Stock markets dropped quickly. Major indexes fell by about 10%. Worldwide, companies lost more than $6 trillion in value in just a few days. Investors got nervous, and people started worrying about a possible global recession. Countries like Australia saw their stock markets take a big hit. Now I'll tell you how other countries reacted. China responded with its own taxes, raising tariffs up to 125% on American goods. It also banned some US companies. Canada added a 25% tax on American cars that didn't follow the USMCA trade agreement. The European Union planned to charge $23 billion worth of US goods, but decided to wait 90 days to see if things could be worked out. Other countries responded in different ways. Some tried to negotiate, while others prepared their own tax plans. However, after all that backlash and economic chaos, Trump paused the big new tariffs for 90 days for most countries, except for China. The basic 10% tariff still played in place during the pause. China still had to pay all that was set by the US, even though the other countries didn't. Now I will tell you what Donald Trump has decided to do on the 13th of April. He has decided that smartphones and computers will not be applied with the tariffs, because this will help tech companies to improve and for the economy to stay great. And it also makes sure that everyday people won't face higher prices for the electronics. And just like that, a single announcement shook the foundations of the global economy. Trillions lost, alliance tested, and a trade war narrowly avoided. For now, Trump's tariffs weren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They were a reminder of how quickly global stability can shift, how fast markets can fall, and how every policy decision can echo across the world. So, as countries rethink their strategies and the world waits to see what comes next, one thing is clear. In today's economy, nothing is off the table. So, thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to tune in because, as you know, this story is still far from over. That's it for today. See you soon.